Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions. And you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16. I think it's episode 15. I could be wrong. I just didn't check, but I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video, and you can also share it. And you can leave your comments below. I think that this will still be a short video, but I'm not going to be the fussing type of person and griping person. I got some gripes to talk about, but however, it's not going to be that such to it. So I actually like this episode a lot more, and the best one out of the whole vacation time. But anyways, let's get into this episode. Okay, all right, so we get a flashback, or they give commentary on what happened after Britt did what she did in the last episode, where she was basically pulling off to Shamia, you is smart, you is kind, and you is important. And as my girl, Nashana, shout out to her, she said in her review, gave her best Tubi performance. And then she went on and ripped her shirt off and flopped her breasts on the counter. Before we get there, let me put a pin right here. Don Juan, he's been reviewing the last couple episodes, and he has gotten the tea as to what was going on in that episode. According to what Britt did see and the rest of the cast, they see all whatever episodes up until the finale so that they could get ready for a reunion. His source, which is 105% sure that there was a different edit that she saw of what she did, and she knows that she got bare naked in front of the camera crew. The camera crew's all men, and people were quite cringy about it. There was other commentary about it. However, possibly what Britt did is she contacted whomever and said, "Look, we're not doing that. Don't show all of that." They showed as much as the boobs. We did not see the part from what we saw in the first trailer. Remember Phaedra's introduction? Was that we seen her shaking her derriere upside down? Remember that? Like she was on the trip. So there's a lot of things that has been cut, but whatever. Yeah, so we can go back there. So finally the women are bonding, and they had a good time. It really gave South Carolina season 13, where all the ladies, they always relax a whole lot more, and at least back then they were becoming more sexual with each other. I don't know what they were doing there, but obviously everyone just loves to twerk and smack asses. That's what they do. Good for y'all. Angela comes and visits Drew, and they just talk a little bit about, first last night. And Angela said, I really think that Britt was showing a lot of love to Shamia and all of that, and I was really doing good, but one thing I know I can't do is to look at you. Basically, she was saying that Drew was giving all of these weird reactions to how Britt was putting on towards Shamia. And Drew was like, what is going on? And she ended up doing some reenactments. Funny scene. We know that was quite fake. That's not even Britt. It's just like Britt is kind of this fish out of water, and she don't really fit in. She's trying hard to find a way to be included or whatever, but she sticks out, and it's just like, what? You're not really natural with this group, with the camera and all that good stuff, in my opinion. Angela said, did you notice something about Britt and Kelly? They're not as close. Drew said, something seems like that something in the water is not right. They seem very distant. And I'll just be keeping my eyes open. I'm not going to pry into whatever. I'm saying a friendship, this was said on social media, a friendship hates to see Angela coming. Angela going to find access, and she's going to get in there and get to the root of everything. Shamia calls her mom. They talk a little bit. The mom, who is the one that found the daughter in the condition that she was last night, with the nurse not really helping out and all that good stuff. Shamia told her that she had a meltdown here, da-da-da-da-da. Portia and Cynthia, they meet up at somebody's place. I think it's Portia's place. And she's got this dramatic straw hat that she's put on Cynthia, and they're playing around with that. They talk a little bit about Shamia and all of that, and Portia, yeah, that's really hard on her, da 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 da. And then Phaedra comes in. They talk about the whole Britt and Shamia situation. And then Phaedra got on the Atlanta scammers. Yeah, let me shut up. But they really just think that, well, really, Britt and Shamia took it too far. It was just like, y'all going back and forth for what, da 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 da. And Portia was like, well, you were just really trying to find where the shade was, Britt. But however, that's an insecurity. That's an insecurity. So it's like, I'm not saying that Shamia is right for how she was playing with Britt and being a passive aggressive, but for you to sit here and press, you're talking about that's shade, isn't it? It's shade. It's just like, no, you're very insecure and you don't like that people are talking about you. I would have asked once and then be done with it. If you can't be upright with me and be a woman and come to my face and say this, da 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 da, or even if we are in a group, you can't say that, then F you, and we're done. Because obviously the grievance isn't that important if you can't tell me to my face with your scary tail. Scary. I feel like Shamia is scary and passive aggressive to people that she is afraid of, in fear of. She's in fear of Portia and she's in fear of Britt. In fear of Britt, because we see what she can do. She threatens pistols. I don't know if it's that part, but she knows that Britt is very aggressive talking. Even if Britt did get aggressive in last week's episode, Shamia, I mean, it would have been warranted because you were too busy trying to gaslight and play a game with her instead of just in your people-pleasing way and not just being a woman about it. Just say that you have a problem with her. I can't falter on that. And I really hate that this is another episode I have to say something right about Britt. Y'all know I'm Team Twirl. And outside of Team Twirl, she's just really crazy. But anyways, the one thing that I am noticing about Phaedra, y'all can love her all you want to, the day she landed back on the show, all she does is say these lewd comments. She's always talking about body parts, talking in such a creepy way about people. It's really weird. It's really weird. And she did it tonight. I was like, why y'all keep talking about body parts? Why are y'all talking about Cynthia's coochie? And now it flaps. And the first thing that comes out of your bleached, blonde, built body, or built wig body, is that the flap or whatever got a hood on it. A KKK hood. Like, what the crap? What the crap? I don't care. I just feel like Phaedra is very... I don't know what the words to say. I'm trying to think of the words, but something is off about her. I'm starting to think something else, and I'm going to say it. I really think that the rumors that she started about Candy, pointing one finger at one before or back at her. Just saying. Those are my thoughts and my opinions. I have no proof of anything. Yeah, but you are weird. So Phaedra got tea. She found out that Kelly and Britt are fighting over stylist. That was already out. Somebody had already broke that. I'll tell y'all. Y'all try to say that the fans are just ruining the show. No. You people that get access to information, you that are commentators, bloggers, and all that, y'all ruined it. Y'all ruined it. Because we knew everything that was happening in the season. Hardly anything is a surprise. The greatest surprise is Angela, that we knew nothing about. Y'all kept promoting Britt for what? I don't know. When Angela is really the MVP of the season. Y'all had nothing to say about her, which is weird. Yeah, so if Kelly had offered her stylist to Britt to help her out sometimes, you know, Britt didn't have a stylist, but she's pretty and paid and all this other stuff. And people think that she's stylish. Okay. Portia was talking about, you know, yeah, it is weird. It doesn't seem like that they're really together because they're kind of like the fake freaking frat, even though freaking frat are fake. Your whatever is alliance-based. Y'all came together because y'all hated Kenya. Y'all had that common enemy. Y'all can say what y'all want, act like that they are a real friend group, or a friend pair duo. They're not. But anyways, Britt ended up doing something again behind Kelly's back, having a meeting with her stylist. Kelly got word on that, and then she told them, you can't mess with Britt anymore. Word got back to Britt at this point. because Kelly once decided to be passive aggressive. I think for whatever reason she was weirded out, whatever Britt was doing, and she was able to float so easily when she knew someone else had a problem with Britt. And that is so crazy. And that pisses me off because I don't want to say that Britt is right about something, but I have to. Yeah, so their falling out is over a stylist. And Kelly being a punk and just saying, look, no, you go find your own stylist. Britt and Kelly, they meet up at, I guess, Kelly's villa. Kelly talks about the court. It's so crazy at how the energy that Kelly gives to people when she's wanting to encourage people versus what Britt gives her. Yeah, you got this. Yeah. Kelly got a detoxifier, a massage, and all that. She don't care. Yeah, but she's going to court because it's another round of her just trying to get a divorce. So they want to talk about last night. Britt feels like the energy was weird from a few people, and there was passive aggressive energy coming from Shamia and you. And all she wants is for Kelly to be herself. If you have something you need to say it to me. Don't be going through all these people to just piggyback off of them. Because I was asking you about what do I need to donate and all that stuff. I just don't understand. Your business, your corporate, your self-made. You may not know the specifics, but the basic thing that you knew how to do is just to buy 3 rolls of toilet paper. And then after lying and saying that there was a truck coming, that you give $250. Charity is not a part of who you are. But you talk about families. Like, something's not adding up. Something's not adding up. At least, even if it's not in your heart, at least from a business perspective, all this stuff is like tax write-off. You don't know that, Miss Insurance Girl? That's why everything is so fake. And I just need to know who vetted this woman. Britt is feeling like Kelly is using her team, her entourage, as some type of, did she say shield or something? And she's not really showing up as herself. Show up just as you. And people feel like she's fake. And what Britt really wants, if you know that someone has a problem with me, how come you didn't share it with me? Share with me about what's going on beforehand. You allowed this person to come and do her thing, and you still didn't stand up for me. And that's where Britt is right, as far as a friend. Now, as far as how whack you really are, you're just whack. But so are you, Kelly. So are you, and Shamia. Okay, so everyone comes outside and they're in their bikinis and stuff. The Prime Minister of Grenada has shown up. And basically, some of the girls, Kelly and Phaedra's doing the most, just flirting with this dude. I guess I shouldn't be that uptight, but it's just like, all y'all doing is flirting with every man that comes inside of y'all. Are y'all doing that for our appeasement? Because it's very weird. He talks about jab jab, and he explains what goes on with this jab jab celebration. Back in the day, slave owners would call the slaves jabs. So they put on this black oil and all that, and they go out and celebrate. Basically, they reverse the whole slavery type of judgment that was put on them. And now it's a celebration, and we're free and all that good stuff. And I loved learning that because I just didn't know, But then Portia ends up pulling out her camera phone and taping this dude while he's walking away. What? That's an invasion of privacy, y'all. To me, it's weird. Y'all can think whatever, but imagine somebody taking photos of you. Of course, they are in the public limelight, TMZ and all that stuff. They can do that, whatever. But you're doing that to show, I want to see him walk away. I got to show this to my mom. So y'all like sexualized him. It's weird. It's weird, y'all, to me. But y'all can think whatever. Y'all can let me know. That was weird. Kelly and Drew, they finally bond after 15, 16 episodes. We find out that Kelly and Drew have the same wedding date anniversary. I think Kelly is in her 11th and Drew was in her 10th. And Drew starts talking about on her 10th wedding anniversary, they were going to renew vows. I think it was brought up, like, how do you guys really celebrate that, or what do you do on these anniversaries? Kelly says, she just usually cries and all that good stuff. Drew says, I know what's going on, and I know that I'm still in love with, I don't think she said in love, but she still loves Ralph, and that stuff is just going to take time, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have anything to say about that. That's so crazy. If I had anything negative to say, Kelly goes and on her call that she has for her divorce, Angela right then and there just wants to know what Kelly and Britt talked about, and Britt shares that, and then next thing you know, Shamia comes out in her bikini with that dramatic straw hat that Portia had, and they just do this photo shoot. And then Shamia has the nerve, in my opinion, to just be the stupid whack woman that she is. She said, "Oh, Portia's a great best friend for putting straw in your head and doing a photo shoot." Is that what you needed to feel good at this moment? Were you feeling bad about how you were, about your body? Is that what was going on? It just didn't make no sense. But Lord, the bar is low as what you think a great best friend is. Okay, so then they go out to this jab. First, let me just say this. Before they went there, Shamia comes out with Chanel boots. And then the whole tacky nature of the thing is these boots, with the Chanel name was out there. We can tell you from Atlanta, just tacky. And it's tacky, one, because of you need the label so you can show off. But it's like, why would you go out there with some Chanel boots? Those are ruined. Those are gone. Black oil. You're not getting anything out of that. Even though, okay, so they go. I see them having a good time. I actually enjoyed it. Outside of what I feel. You know, I'm glad that there's body positivity out there, but everything has to turn sexual with these ladies, especially Phaedra. Oh, I just got pregnant. Those are the dances. That was a dance that broke up, what's his face? That rapper. Chance the Rapper's marriage. Because he was doing those little gyrating, but it's a cultural thing. It has nothing to do with sexual stuff. It can look like it, but it's not. But it's just like everything got to be sexual with these people, especially her. They get back home. It's the next day. They are packing. Most are still trying to get some of the oil off of them. Britt acts like she's the best person in the world because she was able to get all of the oil off of her, and the rest just act like they don't. She just says, "Oh, they don't know how to bathe right." Kelly talks a little bit about the divorce stuff. I guess a crystal broke, and she looked it up, and it means that this is the end. And then they go to release it, the crystal. For me, I don't think I feel bad for Kelly. Portia, Drew, and Kelly all have similar stories as far as their divorce. None of them have a good divorce. And the way that you, Kelly, wanted to play this season towards Drew, you don't do that. You reap what you sow. I know y'all fans believe in King of Karma. You reap what you sow, lady. So I don't know if I feel bad for you. You should have never showed up this season the way that you did towards her. All just to push this narrative and story. Y'all did a lot of stuff, and you're going through your own effed up divorce. So I don't have anything positive to say. And then we get a flash forward of 72 hours later, and Phaedra gets to be messy and be a punk as she always is, and doing what she's accused married to medicine. That's all I do have. Again, I enjoyed it more because I got to learn the culture of Grenada and all that. And 16 episodes later, now they're actually wanting to bond, which is, to me, a chop. A chop. That's all I have, y'all. Let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like this video, and also you can subscribe and leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.